I'm Raíssa, and I'm bringing you now a new podcast of the blog Softball Now. This Wednesday, this cool night in Natal, the temperature is about 24 degrees. I said Wednesday. I had a week at the hospital, so I'm still getting confused about the days. Today is Thursday, and the temperature is 24 degrees in Natal, but it really feels like 23 degrees Celsius. So, at least at night and early morning, the temperature reminds us that we are experiencing winter in Natal. And today we're going to talk about these things that I think that we should understand better. First of all, I saw something about technology today. Since the internet began to become popular in the world and in Brazil, we have these experiences about passwords. We have to create passwords, and during the start of this technology, it was very easy to create a password, but through the years, it became really hard. Now we have to choose capital letters. We have to mix the letters with numbers, and the websites, they have a kind of software that detects if your password is a weak password, and they don't let you have that password that is weak. So it's really getting hard to create a password nowadays, and every now and then we have this information, especially with bank accounts, etc., that we have to change the password like every 60 days or every 6 months. We have to change the password, and I was really I can say surprised when I saw a blog today, the FTC blog of technology. FTC, if you don't know what it is the Federal Trade Commission. It's something really similar to Anatel here in Brazil. It's about communications technology, and it's an agency, and they regulate all this kind of technology in the USA. So I was reading a blog there by Lori Craner. She is a chief technologist, and also she's a professor of computer science in the University of North Carolina. And she said there in this blog that it's not really safe to keep changing your password because a website or a software tells you to. And she conducted a study to prove that. And she said that the problem is that when you have a software telling you that you have to change your password every 3 months, for example, you tend to use your previous password as a base. For example, if your password is, let's say, dance7, the letters of the word dance and the number 7. And the website that you use or the software that you use tells you to change your password. Most of the people change this only adding a new number. For example, now it's dance 78. So it's not really safe, she says. And not only because of that, not only because the majority of people use the previous password as a base for the new one, but also because now hackers, they have all kinds of technologies to crack our passwords. So sometimes they have access to our keyboard, what we press, the keys that we press in the keyboard of the computer. So they know your password either way, or they have a kind of software that is on your computer that they see everything that you do. So it's not really safe, she says, that we keep changing our passwords, especially if we keep changing because software tells us to do. And she was studying this. She decided to study this because she has 6 passwords to use on her work. And every 60 days, she had to change all of her 6 passwords. So it was really bad, I think, to her. It is, because with this study, she can only prove to her boss that now she has to change only 4. So 2 passwords she can keep, but 4 she still has to change. So to change them. So it's not really easy for her, but it's something that I believe most of the people suspected that it was useless. So she proved that it's useless. Because of that, most of the people change just part of the password. They use the previous one, and also because hackers, crackers, they have access to computers, to keyboards, so they know what we're doing there. Talking about technology, but now moving on, Pokemon Go has arrived in Brazil, and all this crazy thing that we see in the USA and the rest of the world is happening here too. So it started, as far as I know, it started yesterday in Brazil. I'm not a Pokemon fan, okay? I don't like this game, but I understand people who are really in love with this. So I got this news that some smartphones are not working with this game, this Nintendo game. But the people who got this game, they are really getting crazy now, just capturing the monsters that are available and walking. And I had a very funny experience this afternoon at work, because one of my co-workers was trying to get this Pokemon, and she got into a place with a lot of plants, and she got plants all over her. So it was funny. So this is the kind of crazy thing that is happening. And of course, we're talking about Brazil. So the first smartphone to be stolen happened at almost at the same moment that the game arrived to Brazil. So came to Brazil. So that's it. We are still here. I saw on Twitter something very funny about it, saying now everybody is happy about Pokemon Go coming to Brazil, because fans are collecting monsters and thieves are collecting smartphones. So this is the reality in Brazil. We are really used to it. Of course, it's not only Pokemon Go that makes criminals get our smartphones, but now they have a new thing to help them doing this, and that is the problem of Pokemon Go. If we have this problem in the USA, that is a lot safer than Brazil, imagine around here, right? And of course, I have to tell you about what is happening in Natal. Natal is almost under attack, terrorist attacks, but it's not the ISIS, thank God. It's not a religious thing or a political thing. No, it's just about criminals. They want the governor to remove some blockers, cell phone blockers, the signal blockers that they have in the jailhouses. If you don't know, here in Natal, specifically here in Natal, prisoners, they live the way they want in the jailhouses. So if they want to use a cell phone, they use it. They can use the cell phone to talk to their family anytime. But most of the time they use it to commit other crimes, like getting money from people, trying to pretend that they have someone in the family and they want a ransom. So this is just life in Brazil, especially in Natal. But now the governor decided to install some signal blockers in the jailhouses. So prisoners got crazy. They started a riot around here. And every day we have lots of attacks around the city and around some cities, some towns that are around Natal. So far, since Friday, we have had 107 attacks. Some days we don't have buses, other days we have buses, but not the regular number of buses in the streets or not the regular hours. So it's kind of crazy. I have to confess that I don't see anything different in the part that I live and the part that I work in the city. Just that I hear some sirens that is not common because I live in a very quiet neighborhood. So when we hear something like this, we tend to pay attention because it's something different. But there are other parts of the city that are really scared because people are really scared there because we have explosions in supermarkets, in gas stations. We have buses that are set on fire. So it's hard. The situation in Natal is really hard. It's not really as we are used to. Natal is used to be a very quiet city, kind of a paradise, but now we have this I say it's a terrorist attack because if it's illegal and if they want to cause this panic to the population, of course this is terrorism. We don't have another word for that. And let's talk about the Olympics in Brazil, in Rio. You know, it's the Olympics, baby. So we have lots of sports happening right now. The official opening is tomorrow. People have lots of expectation about this opening. What is going to happen there? What kind of music are we going to have there? Some people have low expectations because for example, we have a singer that is popular here, but not really that people think she sings good songs. That is Anitta. So it's really a great expectation to know what is going to happen tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be home to watch this on TV. I will be out, but certainly the next day I'm going to watch it as a replay on TV. So we have this Olympics that we have the opening, but we have lots of problems in the Olympics in Brazil too. You know that we heard some boat sports are going to happen in a very polluted bay, polluted waters, and they promised the governor and all the authorities of the Olympics in Brazil, they promised to clean the bay, the rivers that they're going to use for these competitions. But this is Brazil, and if people in the world don't understand this, they have to understand this better. We tend to promise things and then we forget that we promise. That's just normal here. So polluted waters is something else that the athletes are going to deal with during these competitions. And it's funny because some people say, no, it's safe. They have special uniforms, so they are safe in the water. But we know that when we are in the water, we breathe, right? So water is going to eventually get into our bodies. Not my body because I'm not going to be there, but to the athletes' bodies. So, of course, they are going to get these bacteria and other things inside their bodies. Let's just hope that they don't get a super bacteria or something like that, because it's really polluted waters. It's not like something that is eventually, that's just sometimes of the year that it is polluted. No, it's like forever polluted. So it's hard, really hard. And I think something else that is funny about these Olympics in Brazil is just that I just got a website of a newspaper, a famous newspaper in Brazil that is Estadão. And sorry, it wasn't Estadão, it was O Globo. And I saw that Rio's mayor, Eduardo Paes, was just asking people from Rio not to move around the city on Friday. How can a mayor ask a population of a city something like that? Don't move around the city. You live in the city, you have to move around, right? But he should say, don't try not to use your car, use public transportation or something like that. But no, he was asking the population not to move around. So it's sometimes it sounds surreal, you know. Things in Brazil sounds really surreal when we see this. Well, that's it, guys. I'm not going to have a long time here because this is the week that I'm getting back to everything in my life, as I was telling you in Portuguese the days before. I spent a week at the hospital. I wasn't in the hospital because I wasn't sick, but a relative was, so it was difficult to see time passing, etc. I'm still getting back to normal. I'm still getting confused with the time, which day of the week it is, because I didn't see the end of the last month. So that's how it is. But tomorrow we get back to our normal schedule here with the podcast. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. we're going to talk about normal things, normal subjects in Portuguese. On Saturday, between 2 and 3 o'clock here in Natal, we're going to talk about these other things, normal things, but in English, as we're doing now, but the normal schedule. And on Sunday, that's the traditional one, we talk about the soccer teams in Natal, especially America, because I'm a big fan of America, at 10 a.m. Okay, so that's it. Good night, everyone, and I hope to have you here tomorrow. Bye bye.